All right. Hey, everyone. This is the Work Begonia podcast. Welcome to the Guardian. I'm your host, Alex Flapjacks, and this right here
I
is my
am
co
Troy
host,
Andrew,
Troy
your
Andrew.
co-host.
What up, buddy? I keep doing this, like feeling like I'm pointing towards you. I keep doing that. My goodness. But
Um,
yeah, welcome to
the
the Guardian,
tattoo on my
everybody.
ankle, I think. I'm sorry.
No, you're
I was
good.
gonna say the tattoo on my ankle compared to your ankle. I'm usually to your right. Then
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Jeez.
I don't know. That's
But
how I always thought about it.
yeah, I just get some confused because I'm actually using my right hand to point to just the camera. That's it. I keep messing that up every episode.
Just pointing
I'm
both
in.
ways. It looks
I'm
funny.
but yeah, today we're doing an episode on Yama-Uba. It's a mountain witch in Japan. Um, yeah, so yeah, we're in Japan now. We left the Philippines, man. So how do you feel about that? We're not in the Philippines anymore. Kind
I'm
of sad.
happy to be going into Japan. Japan has a lot
I'm
of
happy. I'm happy,
scary
but
lore.
oh gosh, yeah, I'm happy, but I mean, I miss the the Philippines. You know what I mean? But we'll
Yeah,
go
they got a
back
lot of crazy
eventually.
creatures too.
They
But
really do, but we'll go back eventually. But Japan is another country I always wanted to visit. My wife and I, like, that's something we always talk about. We wanted to visit, gosh, like a few years ago. Then 2020 happened, and then yeah, we were like, yeah, it's kind of expensive. Let's wait. And then we had a baby, and we're like, okay, let's keep waiting. So near the future, hopefully, we'll visit Japan. But yeah, this creature is kind of similar to the other creatures we talked about, man. The Yama-Uba is a mythical creature originating from Japan, obviously, and is often depicted as an old, hideous mountain witch, and who resides deep in the mountains. So she's yeah, definitely deep in the forest too. It says, and the Yama-Uba is said to have wild, unkept hair, sharp claws, and a frightening appearance. Jeez.
so more of a traditional witch instead of like a shapeshifter with like a horse head.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. Oh my goodness. And also too, it does. I mean, it does have like it's not a shapeshifter, but it can disguise its appearance of being a nice, kind old lady, kind of like to trick her, you know,
I was under the
the
impression
people
it
that
could
are in
become
her
youthful
area.
again.
Yeah. So it can change back and forth into being a hideous creature or this, nice, kind old lady. Um, but she is a trickster that I read. So she does have that. It's really similar to like the other creature, the Tikbalang that we talked about last episode. And let me see right here in my notes. In folklore, sorry, my computer, get away. Anyway, in folklore, Yama-Uba, I'm so proud of myself. I'm pronouncing it correctly now.
Yama-Uba. There you go.
Yama-Uba is known for her unusual diet, which sometimes includes human flesh. Just kind of reminds me of the video game we were playing last night. Although she is also, I'm sorry. Although she
uh,
is also portrayed as a mitral figure who cares for lost travelers and children. So it's weird because like it gives you like two different sides of her. Like she's evil or she kind of like cares about some of the travelers. That's kind of like I don't know. I don't know what dictates that. Like, is it the type of person you are? I guess if you have like evil tendencies deep down in your soul, and she's like, okay, like that's my target. And if you are a kind human being deep down inside, that's the person I'm going to care for to kind of you know put them on the right path to get out of the forest. That's something I don't know. It doesn't really go into detail,
yeah, it makes you
but
think of their skills and their discretion and how they can determine that. Maybe they have some kind of
yeah,
supernatural force that they can do that.
yeah. I think
Maybe they
I
can look at you and see all of your memories and things you've done, all kinds of
yeah.
stuff like that. It's kind of cool to think about.
Yeah, I think you're on some. I think you're right because I mean, how else would you kind of make that huge decision? I mean, and then there's stories about this creature eating newborn babies because I guess the youth. I mean that because
That I didn't see.
yeah, I think I looked up some stuff on YouTube. I looked up stuff on Google, just trying to like look up anything about this creature, their diet, and that's something I wanted to look up. And I looked up her targets are usually men mainly and newborn children. but there are accounts of her feeding on women as well that I read. So, but I feel like her main diet is definitely newborn babies and men. So those are her two
Well,
main diets.
I mean, if we're thinking about this from an animalistic kind of way, mountain lions will attack humans if they're absolutely desperate and they don't have any other food source.
Yeah,
So maybe it's more along the lines of like, hey, I'll take what I could get.
of course, yeah. But but I think going back to like who she picks, like who's gonna be her like I guess victim. I think it just depends on like I think she can tell just by because she does have powers. She can also turn invisible, which I thought that was like pretty cool. At the same time, a little scary. You're gonna have this creepy witch chasing after you, and you don't even know where the heck she is. And again, a trickster. So those are two things, just like the Tikbalang that we talked about last episode, where he's a trickster and he can turn invisible at any given moment, just like this Yama-Uba chick, I guess. So, but no, the crazy thing about it is, I think she, like you were right. I think she could just look at you and maybe she can read your soul basically and kind of tell, like, all right, what type of person are you? And if you are kind of like an evil person or you have some kind of, I don't know, just some kind of ugliness about you, maybe that's how she chooses her victims. And there was also a story, some folklore about her as well. Like she'll disguise herself as a witch and have not disguise, I'm sorry, disguise herself as a sweet old lady and have you kind of like put you through a test to test your like your moral compass, I guess, by having you watch a child or something. I don't know where she
Oh
gets a
yeah,
child.
I was gonna bring this up actually. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry,
So
actually you bring it up, because I
oh
just
no, it's okay. You did a pretty good job. I'm not exactly sure what the child is. I mean, there is a child that she does look after in her own lore. It's considered the Japanese Hercules, a very strong
Mm,
a warrior with natural born strength from her because she raised him. His name is Kentaro. I'm not sure if that's the child that's given to you.
mhm.
I mean, it would be kind of cool to think about because apparently you're given the child and you have to keep holding it, and it gets heavier and heavier as time goes on. You're not allowed to drop the child, but
Yeah.
when she comes back to you know to claim the child, you are then given natural born, or I'm sorry, supernatural born strength from her, and it's apparently it's generational. Like if you go on to have children in your own
Yeah.
family someday, they're also stronger than your average human.
That's good to know. And it's funny because I remember you were telling me something about that I when once we got off the phone with each other, started reading up more about that because I was like, oh, this is actually pretty interesting. Also, too, what I read was actually have it right here. So the Yama-Uba tale often involves lessons about greed and kindness. So yeah, I think that's what it is. If they can read, I guess, your soul, and it's like there's greediness in it, and or there's kindness. I get that's how I feel like she kind of picks her victims, and it's just kind of crazy. It's just like, dude, like it makes me not want to go in these woods. I know I'm not a greedy person, but I feel like we all have some kind of greed in us. I feel like we have some kind of greed in us. So I don't know if it's like a certain level of greed where she kind of dictates, okay, like who's going to be my victim or not. But it's just kind of, I don't know, a
I'd
little,
imagine if you walk upon her path, imagine you're walking like in one of the forests. I can't
yeah,
even remember the name. There's a few different forests I did read about that they were that she was said to embody. And
yeah,
imagine you're just walking along and there's somebody, a woman of supernatural powers
yeah,
who is invisible and she's watching you and she can just look at you, see
yeah,
everything good about you, everything wrong and bad about you.
yeah,
And yeah, I'd imagine that that's kind of crazy to think about.
yeah. And it just reminds me of Hensel, gosh, am I getting it wrong? Hensel and Gretel. Because there's also stories about her bringing you into her, I guess, her house or her home and
Yeah.
fattening you up and eating you. I mean, killing you and eating you,
Well,
or
putting you in the oven.
yeah, putting you in the oven and then eating you afterwards, which is just crazy. But it's just like the funny thing is about this. It's not actually funny, but again, she's a trickster, so she'll actually like if you're lost, she'll give you directions where to go, and she'll put you in the most dangerous areas. Like I think one story was somebody asked for directions, and it's not a true, I don't think it's a true story. I think it's just like things that she's capable of doing, explaining her powers and what she, what she can do. I think she told one of the travelers, "Oh, go to this area," and he did, and it was like one of the highest cliffs, and it was a dangerous area, and he fell off the cliff and died. And she went back to retrieve the body and devoured it. So yeah, definitely so definitely like just really interesting stuff about this creature, that there's there's some kind of kindness about her, and there's also that wicked evilness about her, because it also says despite her demonic appearance, the Yama-Uba is often depicted as a complex character with both malevolent and ben like I can't even pronounce the words because I'm an idiot, attributes, reflecting the ambience nature of the supernatural beings in Japanese folklore. And she can also, let me see, let me try to brighten this up because I can't barely, let me zoom into my notes. I'm sorry, hold on.
Okay, I was just thinking, some of the stuff that you're talking about is making me have these different thoughts. Like the way that you said how she could help you or harm you. I'm
Yeah,
thinking like she's a supernatural outlaw that has her own like moral code and principles. Maybe she helps you, maybe she harms you,
yeah,
depending on what she sees in you.
yeah. And I think it's like the scary part is like if it's like, how do you know? Like, let's say you're in Japan and you're a big hiker. That's who you are. You want to go hike in the woods and go in the forest, and you see a mountain somewhere and you're hiking up it and you walk upon this old lady, a nice kind old lady. It's like, how can, and the things I try to look for is like, how do you know, like what are the signs? And I think for me, if I'm hiking in the woods, I just know for me I'm going to stay away from every old woman I see, just to be on the safe side. I think that's
uh,
your I think that's your thing. Like, okay, like that's okay. If I'm in the woods and I see an old lady, I know just to stay away from her. Because I think that's like
I
their
know,
first
but
sign.
I love old people though. That
I
would
love
be
old
hard
people
for me.
too. I know I
Like,
love old people too, but my gosh, they'll be just, I just like, okay, man, this is probably a sign not to go closer. Because like what else can you, because I try to look up like when the tick belang, okay, what are the foretell signs of this can be this man can possibly be the tick belang? If the creature's sitting down, his knees would be over his head because it's a horse-like creature. So those are the foretell signs. You could tell it's a creature or not. That's the tick belang. This, it's like you can't really tell. So it's like, oh, how do you know? Maybe it's because I remember you were saying, and I'll let she has two mouths basically. Here and then where's the other one? Because I know
we have
you talked
on like
about
top of the head.
top of the head, but it's like, I mean, you can't just randomly go up to somebody and just pull their hair back just to
Oh,
see if they
that's rude. I wouldn't do that, even if it
Yeah,
was
I
a
know.
supernatural creature.
I wouldn't do it either, but I mean, I wouldn't do it to her even if I knew it was her. Because again, my attitude and how I approach her is probably going to dictate if I'm going to live or not. But it's just, how do you know? How can you tell if this person is a witch or not, or you know what I mean? Like that evil demonic creature. So I feel like those are like, oh, this is like a creature you can't even tell if it's a human or not. So I feel like it's a very hard thing to kind
I
of stay
think
away from.
I think fortune favors the bold in this situation. If you
Yeah,
show her kindness, you just never know if it's going to be her or not, and you show her kindness, maybe she'll show you kindness as well.
yeah,
You just never know.
yeah.
But
So
if
watching
you,
this video, anybody take that in consideration when you meet anybody out there in the world. Just be very nice and kind.
I mean,
Seriously.
that's polite society back in the day,
Yeah,
the olden days. Polite
seriously.
society. There's
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, but I think this. I mean, what do you think? You think this creature is evil, or in your opinion, just reading some? I think she's, just for me alone, her eating newborn babies. Yeah, 100% evil, like purely evil. But
That's
let's say
fair.
let's take that aside. Let's be like, all right, let's say that wasn't a part of her diet, and she didn't even harm children, because there are stories about her being mother-like. You know what I mean? So it's like, are those stories even true? Are those stories just parents telling their kids, hey, if you don't do this and this, you're gonna, this Yama-Uba witch is going to eat you. You know what I mean? So let's say that wasn't true. She doesn't eat newborn babies or children. She's just everything else. Do you think she's evil?
I think I would say she's a supernatural outlaw. She is a monster that sometimes does good deeds.
Yeah.
when she feels it's justified and it's part of her, whatever her moral standing or her, code of ethics is. I could never know that, or could
Yeah.
you? I mean, I don't know. She might be having a bad day, and I'm this kind human being that comes along to check on the old lady on the mountaintop, and she eats me. I have no idea. That's like the unpredictability factor as well.
Yeah. She kind of going back to my favorite TV show, Supernatural, just because she's a trickster, and this actually reminds me of a couple of episodes, like the one I said with the. Did I bring this up with the old lady in Supernatural?
A little bit. Bring it up again.
Yeah. So, and I think it was season 3. Husband and wife were hiking in the woods, and obviously the husband didn't read the map. He's that type of guy. I don't need directions. I don't need a map. Blah blah blah. They get lost and they find a house deep in the woods. And the husband's like, "Oh, we should knock on the door and get some help, directions to get the hell out of here." The wife is obviously like not for it because she's like, "No, this is just too sketchy. This is a house deep in the woods. Like, I'm not comfortable." Husband sees there's a pie. I don't know what kind of pie it is. I'll just say it's an apple pie or a cherry pie. Whatever you guys want that pie to be, it is. So anyway, he sees this nice, delicious pie and at the window shield, and he's like, "All right, let's just go to the door. Like, I'm hungry." Like, so his whole thing is like, "I want that pie." He goes to the front. He's about to go to the front door, and this old lady just appears right in front of him. Kind of spooks him a little bit because it's just like, "Oh wow, I did not see you coming." And she offers, "Hey, listen, I'll give you, directions where to go. But listen, you guys look hungry. Just come inside and eat some pie." So basically, this is her thing. She's gonna fatten them up. They go in there, they eat the pie, and she's kind of poisoned the pie. They all fall down, their stomachs killing them, and the wife is trying to like crawl to the door. She's just screaming, and the husband's in really bad pain because he ate most of the pie, so he's really poisoned up. And the old lady just grabs a kitchen knife, like one of those Michael Myers knives, and starts freaking just killing him, stabbing him to death. The wife screaming, and how the wife escaped. I think in the episode she grabs a frying pan, whacks her on the head. The old lady dies. So I don't know if I think she was like possessed by something. I'm not sure, but that's one thing that this witch reminds me of that show, and also two, it kind of reminds me of one of the tricksters in Supernatural. So one of the episodes, I don't remember the season. I want to say season 2 or 3. I want to say season 3 or 4. This is when the angels and demons started coming onto the show and everything. Because before it was just folklore creatures and everything. So one of the episodes, they go to this local college or whatever school, and students started disappearing. There was like UFO sightings, and it was just like the trickster was like doing these like little myths, like, "Oh, there's no alligator in the sewers or anything like that." Those little myths back then, like, "Oh, there's alligators and snakes in the sewers or in the toilet." So one of the guys, I think one of the professors, saw like a nice watch, and this is greed. Like, it was a nice, I think, Rolex in the sewers. So it's greed. So he puts his hand in there, gets it caught, and he's trying to get the watch, and his arm gets basically chewed off by an alligator in the sewers.
Mm.
And then one of the other scenes, a college football player gets, I guess, abducted by aliens. He doesn't get the funny thing is, he's like, "I got probed over and over." No, it was like, "I got probed again and again and again." And he just kept going and going. And Sam and Dean in the show are just like, wow. And it was just crazy because at the end of the day, the trickster wasn't, and I'm probably spoiling everything if anybody's going to go back and watch it. If you haven't watched it, skip this video. Don't skip this video. Fast forward this video 10 or 15 seconds ahead. Now, okay, Troy. So anyway, it's not a trickster. It's actually one of the angels in heaven. And the crazy thing is, he only does these things to these people that are greed or, creating these horrible sins. So those are his, I think, his victims. That's how he chooses his victims. If you have like some kind of greed or anything that's like kind of evil or that's bad character, he does these things to you. Like, he's like, I think in the show he says, "If you're an a-hole, this is what I do to you," basically. So this is what it also reminds me of, which is kind of cool. But yeah, sorry, I just went off a tangent about Supernatural. So go on.
Okay, well, I was gonna ask you, would you grab a watch like that? I don't even know if I'd want to enter a sewer just for a watch. You
Um,
would just like see it in the distance or something.
no, he was walking, and I think he just looked down, and something caught his eye, something shiny, and he just looked down in the sewers and was like, "Oh, I kind of want that." It's an expensive Rolex. I think like,
Finders keepers, man.
yeah, I don't think I would if I saw something in the sewers like that. Like he reached his arm in there. He didn't go in there. He like his whole body didn't go in there, but it was he put his hand in there and he was trying to grab it, and no, man, that alligator came right up and just took his whole arm off. But
Okay,
for
so we didn't
me,
have to like go into it then.
yeah. So, but for me, no, I wouldn't.
Well, the thing is, like, if you have a wallet, like, you at least have a license and address, somebody's
Yeah,
face, their name. You can find them easier just to give them their wallet back. A
yeah, but a
Rolex, though,
Rolex.
like, how you gonna, unless they have their name engraved on it,
Yeah, yeah. But I think
kind of
this.
hard to return that.
But I think it's also things that this person did before. So
Hmm.
again, the trickster slash angel, um, worked in the school. He was the janitor. So again, spoiler alert. He would read comic books of these different like myths, and he would anything he read in the comic book he would do in real life with his powers. It was probably one of the funniest, coolest episodes. I really loved. It was I can rewatch that episode 1,000 times, but I think it's things that you did before your character. So I think he knew if I just bait him and he goes for it, then I'm justified to do this horrible thing to him. And yeah, he was like one of those angels where it was like, kind of like like the Wild West. Like, oh, I'm just here to have fun. I'm going to do whatever. And I'm not bound to any law kind of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't if I saw a Rolex sitting somewhere like in the sewers. I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to try to get it. And I know people are going to be like, "Oh, you're
Uh,
stupid, man."
I don't know, like, how far do you even have to reach your hand out? Like, if there was a
It was pretty
ladder,
far in the episode. It was pretty far. I mean, it was.
I
He
wouldn't,
was like
that's not even worth it.
he was in like above his tricep, like right here. That's how deep he was in.
Yeah, I'm thinking of different situations like those grates. I forget what they're called, but those grates where water drains into.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
could reach your hand into that. Like, I think the movie It also had one with the clown.
yeah, yeah.
Those kinds of, or you can definitely reach your hand in.
I remember.
Actually, speaking of which, yeah, that the child loses his arm
Yeah.
in that movie. So yeah, it's actually similar.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that movie scared. Remember we went to go see that in the movie theater? Oh my god,
I can't remember.
dude, we
It was me and you and Mark or something.
Mark didn't want to go. No, do you
No,
think Mark would go to that?
I don't know. It's
No,
a
he
long
couldn't even
time
watch it.
ago.
Dude, he couldn't even watch you play Resident Evil. Okay, like you think he's gonna go watch it?
I
Like,
can't remember.
no,
This got to
no.
be like at least
Oh,
7 years ago.
it was a long time ago. But we went to the movies, we watched it, and you and I both jumped at the one part. And I think I jumped first, and I jumped the second time because you jumped.
What was it? Do you remember the scene?
You scared the shit out of me. What was the scene? I think, yeah, no, he was running. He was running towards someone, I think. That one scene in the movie, I don't remember. But he was running up really fast, making that weird sound, and we just both jumped, but I jumped first. Like literally, it was like I jumped in a second, you jumped, and I jumped again because you scared me. So I was like, oh shit.
That movie had good jump scares.
So that scared the heck out of me. I was like, oh
Bill
my gosh,
Skarsgård
that
did a
movie,
really
man.
good job.
They did. It was very. Oh my god.
So,
I think that was scarier than the original
it's
one.
really funny that you mentioned that. The second movie that comes out, one of the very beginning scenes, it's the girl of that little friend group. She's all grown up now, and she visits this old lady, but the old lady happens to be, Bill Skarsgård, the clown.
Yeah,
And it's kind of similar to that. Like, she's all warm and inviting.
yeah, yeah.
Gonna go fetch her some tea, and then once like a girl realizes who she is, then she's running around like a clown.
Yeah. Oh,
It
that is so scary. I don't like clowns, man. I mean, let me ask you this: are you a clown person? Like, do you like clowns or no?
I don't know if I've really had a whole lot of interactions as a kid with clowns, to be honest with
Yeah,
you. Like, some
I
people
didn't
have them
either.
at their birthdays and stuff. I've never had that.
Me
I
neither.
think I've been to the circus, but I was too young to remember.
Yeah, I'm not a clown person. No, nothing against clowns. I just
Are
I
you
don't.
afraid of clowns?
No, no, not at all. I'm not as like if I saw a clown, I wouldn't be like scared to go near it. No, I'm not scared, but I definitely don't. I don't see the point. Like,
Yeah,
I know
I don't
it's like,
have that irrational fear of clowns like some
yeah,
people do. I don't really have that.
I don't have the fear of a clown, but I know I don't want to like go to a show where there's clowns because it's like I don't know, I'm not
Really?
into that, and yeah,
I
I don't
wouldn't
know.
mind just for the experience, honestly, at this point.
I'm good. I've seen one clown. I feel like if you've seen one clown, you've seen them all. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
I think I'm good.
What about a mime? You ever see a mime
Mine?
before?
No, I never did. I don't know why that doesn't like. I don't know why that doesn't bother me, but clowns do. And it's not like a fear. It's just like it's just weird. Like it's just weird. Like I don't want to be a part of this. Get away from me. But a mime, I think they're hilarious. Why? Maybe because they don't talk, or they just. I don't know.
You and I got to check out. There is a zombie movie. I think it involved mimes, and the mimes were like staying alive by acting like zombies or something like that.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I can't remember the name. It was one of those movie recaps on YouTube where
Yeah.
they go through like a whole movie like that you would never normally watch
Hmm.
just to tell you about it. But yeah, it was one of those.
That's
And
pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of Shaun of the Dead.
yeah, or what about what's that old movie? They're making a new video game, Invasion of the Killer Clowns or something. It's an older movie,
I didn't
and
see that.
they're making it into a game now.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
What do you think that's going to be a good game or it's going to be a flop? What do you think?
it's gonna be like another similar game to Friday the 13th, where you gotta like
Mm.
run away from the clowns before they get you.
Do you like those type of
Similar to
games?
that.
I mean, what do you think? Do you like those type of
Oh,
games?
I love yeah. Friday the 13th was an awesome game. It's
Yeah,
very
fun.
slow paced because you usually have to wait for people to join, and if
Yeah,
you end up dying in the game, you have to
yeah,
wait for the round to end.
yeah,
But I would just go off and do other things, and just have it on in the background, honestly.
yeah. Those games I do like, but I have to say you're right about one thing. You do have to wait for the lobby to open up and for people to join. Those are the only things that kill the game for me. It's like I have to wait. You know what I mean? And for a guy
I
that
don't mind. Like I can have it on in the background and just
true,
do other stuff. I like games like that. That's why I like 7 Days.
7 Days to Die. 7 Days to Die, I like. The reason why, because it's like we all have you and I. We were playing last night with my brother, and we all had like a little, our goal. Like you're making a cave, or yeah, the cave. I had my brother make a watchtower, and I was busy making my own cave that would go underground to our house, just so we can have. I don't know. I want to make a
It's a
huge
way to
cave.
get there. Yeah, like another
Yeah,
entrance just in case they
yeah.
have to
And
run
also
around or
too,
hide.
yeah, and we also like gave each other jobs. Like you kind of gave yourself the job to make a really cool. I would. Oh man, next time we have to take a screenshot of your cave, just the look of it, or a video, whatever we could put on the podcast, just to show people. Like
Yeah.
you did some really good work. Like I was
I
impressed.
know that I've had a lot of practice making those too. Like
Yeah,
I remember the first time I played this game and I decided to dig like using a shovel. I couldn't get out of the hole I made and it was like in the middle
yeah.
of the house.
Oh
It's ridiculous. But I know this isn't really like a video game podcast. I did want to say that for all of you watching who you're old, you're old enough to remember Mario 64, Super Mario 64.
Mhm.
It's the infinite stairs. That's what I'm making. The stairs are gonna take forever to get up. It's gonna feel like infinite stairs.
Yeah, and it's so dark. I know you're gonna put torches down there, but you were like, "Yo, turn your light off." I was like, "Okay," and I was like, "This is spooky as hell."
I know
This is
you're
crazy.
sprinting up, but you can't
Yeah,
see anything,
you
so you don't
can't.
even know where you're going.
And the
It really
zombie
is Super
broke
Mario
in.
64.
Yeah, and the zombie broke in from the top of the, I think the living room, because you kind of blocked it all
Oh, the
off.
kitchen. Yeah, the kitchen.
Okay, the
Broke in,
kitchen.
yeah.
Sorry, but you blocked everything off. Everything was good.
Yeah.
And we're like, "Where the hell is the zombie at?" And I hear you screaming. You run off, and I'm like, "Where the hell? What's going on?" And like, where did Troy go? And I'm shooting the zombie with a bow and arrow. That was
And
so
I
funny.
totally did shoot. I had 2 health. I was about to.
You had two
My,
healthy. I
yeah,
wouldn't. I would.
I was about to be done.
Yeah, that's fine.
I can't believe I survived that, Alex.
Oh gosh, yeah. I couldn't believe I survived the bear. Like it wasn't even a bear attack, but there was a zombie bear right next to me, and I was like, "You were right. Hide behind the rocks. Hide behind the
Yeah,
rocks, and just zigzag, and you can get out of its way." So yeah, thank you for that, because I would have died, and I would have left my backpack. Because so when you die in the
yeah.
game,
I've been in that
you
same
lose that.
situation before. That's why. That's
Yeah,
why I told you to do that.
yeah. Because if you die, you lose your belt. So everything you have, not everything,
Yeah.
except your backpack, because that's how I set it up. But yeah, that was a really crazy. I was shocked I made it out of there. I was like, oh my God, I did not want to die over there. But sorry, back to this creature. But yeah, I think I've read this creature's been around for a very long time, even the 1300s I read, which is in
1300s. Wow.
1300s. So it's
Yeah.
a very old witch, very old.
Don't they
And
call 1,000 years a millennium?
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
It's 700. It's maybe 800.
yeah. And their weakness is due to their evil nature, dude. I can't talk, man. I think it's because when I get to past a certain time in the day, I can't speak. So anyway, um, due to their evil nature, they are vulnerable to divine magic, prayers, and relics. And if you find a flower, and guys, I looked this up, if you find a flower that possesses their soul or their spirit and destroy it, they're dead. I don't know what type of flower it is, though. I looked it up, could not find it all day. I don't even know what type of flower it is. I don't know if it could be any flower that she puts her whatever in. I don't know. I looked, couldn't find a damn thing at all.
I have a question for
No
you,
luck.
Alex.
Yeah.
Given the nature of the creature, do you think that flower looks like a beautiful divine flower, or do you think that's like the world's ugliest flower ever?
That's a really good question. I'll be honest with you, I don't think it'll be a beautiful flower because I think it will give it away. I think it would give it away. I think it would be a
Mm,
flower that looks dead, that nobody would, people just not even, they'll just walk right by it. They wouldn't even pat an eye to it. So I think it will probably be a flower that's dying and doesn't have any beauty to it. Just to kind of
maybe a flower with blood on it.
maybe, yeah, yeah. What do you think? What do you think?
Mm, it's hard to say because this creature is imbued with magical powers. The obvious thought that comes to mind is like a fairy tale flower that's sparkling and glittery. Uh, I kind of like what you said though. I think it's somewhere in between, where
Yeah,
it's like not a dead decaying flower, but it's also not super obvious.
yeah,
But I don't know. I mean, who knows if it has control over that or not? I have no idea.
yeah. But I really wanted to know like what type of flower it was, and I couldn't find anything about it. That which was crazy. But the
There's
real
so
thing,
much flower variety in the world. Like, who knows?
yeah, of course.
I mean,
And
I guess it would be restricted to Japan as well.
mm,
So I don't know. Maybe if we look up like Japanese flowers, we could probably,
come up with
I don't want
something.
to say narrow it down, but maybe speculate.
Yeah. So let me see their powers and skills. So the crazy thing is that I found too, because I was like trying to look up. Sorry, that was Harry Potter that just came on. I don't know why. I'm so sorry. Did you hear that?
It's kind of funny because we're talking about magic.
Yeah, dude. I just went on Google. Like I went on another page and it was YouTube for some reason, and Harry Potter came up. The intro music. I'm like, where did this come from, man? But that was a little freaky. Um, you're a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry.
Oh, wizard Harry.
Yo, wizard Harry. Yo, wizard.
Uh,
Do you like Harry
you know,
Potter, by the way? Are you a Harry fan?
I never got into it. I couldn't understand it when I was young.
You know what? I don't know why, but my grandmother bought me the book when I was a kid, and I never even like was kind of a fan of it. It was
Oh
like I was
yeah, I
really
had a
young.
video game. The video game is fun.
The video game was yeah pretty cool. I liked the video game, and
Still wasn't like into it though. I just played it because I had it.
yeah, but the new one is pretty good because I have that one. It's pretty good. Uh,
Oh yeah, the one where you're actually in the school,
mm-hmm.
riding
You can
around as
actually
like a
fly.
student. That's cool.
It is pretty cool. I really, really do like it a
The
lot.
mentors were always really creepy, and then there was one. I think the third movie had a giant spider, and I can't. I don't do well with like big spiders. So I was
No.
like, no.
Oh, so no, the big spiders in Skyrim are friggin' scary, man. Oh
Well,
my
those
god.
ones are okay because I don't know. They're kind of those versions aren't too bad in my opinion. Like the big fangs are kind of ridiculous. It looks like wonky and wacky. The
It's
realistic ones though, like that look like they come straight from like your garage at midnight when you're going out to throw out the trash. Yeah, I don't like those.
really, ooh, yeah, I'm good, man. Those things are definitely something I want to stay away from. I'm just not a
I can
spiders
handle
person.
so much, Alex. Like I can handle haunted houses. I can handle, I don't know, ghost girls like that appear in the middle of the night.
And you
Really
have some
terrible
really,
nightmares that I've had too. I
yeah.
can handle those. I can't handle big bugs.
I I'm not a bug person, but I'm not. If I see it, I'll kill it. You know what I mean? Because I don't want them in my house. I'll be like, all right, like
If
I
it's
don't
a
care.
small one, that's
Yeah.
fine. I don't care about the small ones. I'm not bothered by that. But the big ones, yeah, man, no, I can't do
The big
it.
ones freak me out. If I saw a big spider in my house, that's something I'd be like, all right, I got to call the professionals, man. If I see a little spider, I'll grab something, get out of my house so it can still be alive. Just get out of my house. Or if it's somewhere in my room, I'm killing it. You're dead.
Yeah, I just thought of you remember the spider I had in my windowsill
Yeah,
that I
I was
left
just
there?
thinking that. I was just
Yeah,
thinking
were you?
that. I
Yeah, that was a small spider. It was out of the way. It wasn't doing it. I would sleep next to it too. It wasn't that far away from me, but I wasn't bothered by it because it was keeping the bugs out of my old apartment.
I was so annoyed. I was like, what the hell is wrong with you?
It's not like
Like,
the like a giant black widow like queen hanging out in the windowsill. It's just like a little tiny spider, you know.
I,
Wasn't bothering me. I didn't bother it. It got some free food. Tried to go into my windowsill.
I
You
never
know,
got
that's
that.
oh sorry. Well, you know, that's another thing. Why what's with the pie and the windowsills? I don't get that. Like that
I
trope.
Oh, I guess just to warm, I mean, to cool down the pie, a
Oh, is
little
that what it
faster.
is?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. You know, I never
yeah.
thought about that.
You know what I mean? For
What
creepy
if
old,
some jerk with a map comes along and steals your pie?
that probably happened. And like, you know what I mean? That probably happened. Um, I don't know if I was a hungry guy and I haven't eaten in a few days and I see a pie at the windowsill, I'd probably take it. I don't know.
You're like you're in the desert. It's a mirage. It's not real.
Yeah,
Just
right.
seeing
Where did
things.
that pie just
After
stand?
3 days of no water or food, you're just seeing things.
You're eating sand pie. That's really what you're eating. But no, the cool thing, I'm trying to look up her powers. Actually, now I'm reading up this. So yeah, like there's this creature's been around since the 1300s, but it's also saying that it's been alive for at least 2,000 years.
Oh, oh
Yeah,
wow, that's wild.
that 2,000 years, man. Like, that's a very, very long time, man.
So going back to also the mouth on top of the head.
Yeah,
So the second mouth is also said to like expand and widen and
yeah,
become bigger to eat a person more like whole.
yeah.
That's really creepy if you think about it.
Oh God, yeah.
It makes
It,
me wonder like what it would be like if us humans had like second mouths for like maybe one intake is for food, one intake is for water. Could you
yeah.
imagine that?
I feel like there's just too much to handle.
Yeah, I know.
It's like this. I feel like that's just too much, man, for me to handle. I'll be like, man, I'm good. I
High
just
maintenance.
Can I just, yeah, it's high maintenance. I got to brush up here now. Like, come on. Got to brush my hair, brush my teeth on
That
my scalp. Yeah, that's just so much to work with, man. I don't know. But
evolution comes with all kinds of
yeah,
problems.
yeah, I feel like, oh, I have a question for you because we're talking about,
Oh,
body parts and stuff.
I'm sure. What
Uh,
is it?
do you think Adam and Eve had belly buttons? Yes or no?
I don't see why they wouldn't.
No?
Well, actually, oh, I think I know what you're getting at.
Yeah. Because they
Uh,
weren't like
yeah.
born.
That took me a second to think about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't because they did not come from the womb or anything. So they didn't have an umbilical cord to feed on anything. So that was a weird hand gesture. I'm sorry. But anyway, I just realized what I just did. But no, yeah, they don't. Which because I was watching the Catholic talk show, or yeah, and they were talking about that, and I was like, oh yeah, I never even thought about that. So yeah, no, I just thought that would be a nice little thing to put out there. I thought that was like an interesting fact because I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So yeah, they didn't have belly button.
I was
It
thinking
was on me.
similarly, like, you know, what if we had just different arrangements for our bodies, like a second mouth for water and, you know, and the other one for food? Where you think that would be? You know, how does our brain still interact with two
Yeah,
mouths? Because that's a lot for one face. You know,
That
I don't
that
know.
is
These
a
are all
lot.
things that I'm thinking about. Just the creative side of my brain.
No, yeah. I don't know. I think that's just. I always thought like, how would it be? How would it feel to have like a third arm?
Hmm. Or
Yeah.
maybe like the Mortal Kombat characters, so they have like a bunch on each side. I forget which one that's called.
Oh,
But
you're talking about the guy that has four arms.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's the hell's his name? He was an ugly creature. My
Was it
gosh.
Baraka? I think.
Yeah, Baraka. Dude, he was
No, no. Baraka had the swords for arms. I think this was
really.
something else. Yeah, I think so.
Oh my
I don't know.
God.
I haven't played Mortal Kombat in a while, but I'm
I
trying to
haven't
think.
either. I don't think it's Baraka. All right, hold on. Let me look this up, man.
Pretty sure Baraka had the swords for arms and looked like a goblin demon.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, now that I'm remembering it, hold on. No,
The guy that we're thinking about was also really big,
he was. Yeah, he
huge.
was gigantic. He got. Let me see. Arms. Da, da, da. Garo or something.
Is that what the name is?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. He was an ugly creature. He was hard and dude, he was hard to fight in
Didn't
the
he have a
game.
ponytail?
Yeah, he had a ponytail. Yeah,
Yeah, ponytail. I
I'm looking
remember
at him
that.
right now. And when they made it, the other Mortal Kombat, I think it the second one, and they had a female one. They had the women version.
I don't
Yeah,
remember. I have one of the recent
she was
ones.
intense.
I think it's Mortal Kombat X. And that was
How was
hard.
it?
Very difficult. I couldn't.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older or the controllers. The controls got different, or I don't know. I haven't played the game in a while. I couldn't beat it.
yeah. There's a couple of games that I really get annoyed at when they change the fighting mechanics or the controls. It's like
Oh yeah, the boxing games.
I get
Yeah,
so pissed. I'm like, why? The controls were amazing. Why did you have to change it? Like, why? It makes no sense.
yeah. I feel you on that one.
Like, oh my gosh,
I
I was
can
just
relate.
playing. Yeah, I was playing one of the fighting games, and I'm like, dude, the submissions are off. Like, why do you have to change it to make it 10 times harder? Like, I just want to have fun playing the game. Why do I have to like press two different buttons to actually throw one damn punch? Makes no freaking sense. Just makes
Yep.
no sense. But my gosh,
You either adapt and get used to it, or you just gotta hope and pray for the next game to not be the same way.
I'm just gonna play the old games then. You'd be like, screw that.
There you go. There's a solution.
Older the better, man. All
I'm
right.
trying to think if there's anything else I want to discuss.
Yeah.
When I think of witches, I think of like Halloween. So whenever we talk about creatures like this,
Yeah,
I immediately think of the witch in a boiling pot and a broom handle and one of those
that's what
tall
I think about. Yeah.
hats. Even maybe Gruntilda from Banjo and Kazooie. I don't know if
Yeah,
you remember that.
I remember that. But did you hear any like read anything about this creature about like how did she become this creature? Or because usually witches they usually become a witch just because of something horrible in their past. So I couldn't
Hmm.
really find anything about her past and why she became who she is.
I
Like I
know that
found some stuff.
there was a mountain man as well that was like kind of like her counterpart. I didn't read too much
Hmm,
on him. I only saw very little bit about him.
yeah,
He's mostly focused on searching like Yama-Uba.
yeah,
But I don't know, like when I think of the motivation to do these things, it's kind of like a villain backstory. How did they become a villain? What caused
yeah,
them to do it?
yeah,
What caused them to seek out like occult powers to become that?
yeah.
But then again, back then, we're talking about the 1300s and even just a little bit before our time, our
Yeah.
generation. Things were pretty brutal and hardcore.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Probably less civilized than today as well.
Oh yeah, and they believed in half of the supernatural stuff that we don't really believe in today, or some people don't, or some people do still. But like people back then actually believed in like vampires, like Dracula. You know what I mean? Like I think I told you the story of um I don't know how this thing came about, but people in town were getting, I don't know, bites on their necks every time they woke up. I don't know if it was,
Really.
yeah, they were getting bites, and there was some people dying in town and everything, and they thought it was this certain guy that was alive at one point in their village was a vampire because he just had that look, you know what I mean? Like very tall, pale white human being with long hair. And um, they actually dug up his grave, and his stomach was actually bloated, and there was what they thought was blood coming down his mouth.
So, yeah, the corner of his mouth.
Yeah, the corner of his mouth, and they stabbed him right in the heart with a stake. Like literally just stabbed a corpse that's already dead.
Like, you know what? We're not taking any chances,
Yeah.
guys.
But it was just like, dude, he was just
Wrap this up.
he was just decomposing. Like that was gas. It wasn't like he came out of his grave and started killing people. Like you just literally just took a corpse and just stabbed the shit out of it with the damn wooden stake. Like what?
That's probably where superstition goes too
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, man. That's where it's just
I'm
okay.
all
you
for
really took
paranoia, but maybe not to that extent.
yeah, to that point where you're digging up a corpse and stabbing it. It makes just why? Why?
I don't know.
But-
I feel like there's more to that story that we don't know.
Oh,
I wouldn't
God.
mind doing an episode on whoever you're talking about, though.
Oh, I have to look up more. I have to look up more information, but there's a lot of stuff. Even the one I felt so bad. There was this the one story. This was definitely in the I wouldn't say the colonial days. God, this was probably taken back maybe before the 1600s. There was this mentally ill child. They've definitely the kid that cried wolf. He basically, I think there was people in town. They overheard like a wolf in the area, and it was actually attacking people or attacking their cattle, whatever. And this kid was going around saying he was a werewolf and everything, and kept, I think he went outside one night and put, I think, one of the skins from one of the wolves and started running out at night, and he was shot because they actually thought he was a wolf. Yeah, really sad, really sad, but definitely
You just made me think of something, actually. So my family's house. This is New Jersey, but I'm talking like really deep, boondocks, boony New Jersey, out in the woods. But they apparently, well, their house is really haunted, by the way, and they used to talk about like that there was like occult and witches out in the woods where they lived. Us talking about that made me think about it just now.
That is, yeah.
I can't remember much, man. That was like I was so little when I went over there. I
Yeah.
used to play in the dirt and eat gummy worms. That's all I can remember.
Yeah, there's some things I remember from like my childhood that was kind of I think I didn't tell you this story, right? About the experience I had. Oh, man. It was I was walking. So when I was a kid, um, I'll tell you this first. I'll tell you this one first, then I'll go back to this one I was trying to tell you. But so it was me and my uncle, and we were driving. I think it was like really late at night, and it was raining out, downpouring, and then we were driving, and he's like, "Oh, you see that man at the end of the road?" So we're driving, and we see this old man at the end of the road waving, and then we drive closer, and literally disappears. Disappears, and I was like, "What did we just see?" So I don't know if he just like went. I don't know if he like just went to the corner, like went on the side of the building, because there was a building right there. So I don't know if he like ran to the side of the building. I don't know, but it was just he was there and he wasn't there. So that something that creeped me out. So to this day, I'm still trying to wonder: was that a spirit, or was it just I don't know? Like the guy just kind of walked the corner and disappeared. I don't know.
Was your
And
uncle used to like all that paranormal stuff for him to be like nonchalant about it?
No, not into that stuff. So that's why it kind of freaked me out. The one story was wasn't really a story. This is what happened. So when I was a kid, I would there was woods near my house, like a swamp area, and I would go there all the time. I was really young, um, just because I loved animals, and I would always try to go in there and just like because there was a lot of deer in that area too. So I would always go in the woods and look for deer. And I was a weird kid, man. I believed in like Disney movies, like oh, you can talk to animals. I was really young, to the point where the cops actually grabbed me. They saw me in the woods in my pajamas and took me and brought me home. So I was really, really young. But there was this house right near the woods, and there was so I'm going out in the woods. On this side are all woods here. When you keep walking down the path, then it starts to break on this side, and you see a house and a road, and there's other houses. So I saw this little dog. There was a gate. I saw this cute little puppy, and I'm like talking to it and petting it. And this really nice lady comes out and starts talking to me. And I don't know where the hell my mom was, dude. By the way, guys, keep your kids in the house. Like, yeah, go outside with them, have fun. Do not let them go outside by themselves at the age of 4, okay, or 5. I don't know what the hell my mom was thinking, but
my rule was I wasn't allowed to go past the street that I was on.
yeah, there was no rules for me. I'm really surprised I'm still here. Okay, like seriously.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, seriously. But no, man, like I remember talking to her, and I don't remember if she invited me in or not, but I just got the vibe, like I'm like, yeah, I should go home. But she was nice, but I just got that vibe like I should go home. And then I walked by there the next day, and I didn't see her again. And I kept going near that path like a few times since I lived there, and never saw her again.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That always spooked me out because that interaction was nice, but
American Yama-Uba.
yeah, right. She was Asian, by the way. She was like an Asian descent, so maybe.
Was she an older woman?
No, she was young. She was like a really nice looking lady. Yeah, so I don't know, but she's old now. I'll be honest with you. She's definitely old now.
I'm sure. Well, depending on how much time has passed.
Time has passed, but she's definitely old now. But
maybe she was old and she appeared young to you if she really was a witch. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know, man. You never know.
You never know. You really don't.
Yeah. But this lady, her powers, not the Yama-Uba, her powers are, yeah, she can turn invisible, she's immortal, and she can play tricks on you. And also, too, she can fly, which is.
Where did you see this? I haven't seen it before.
I didn't see it. I just was listening to. It was. Say it again?
I'm sorry, go on. You said you listened to it. I was just determined.
No, I was just listening to like some audio stuff about her, people talking about the creature, and it said like she can actually fly. And I was like, oh, so a flying witch. So it didn't say what she flew on or she had wings or anything.
Okay.
But
that's gonna be my next question.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know how she can do that. I don't know. But I was like, wow, she kind of sounds more and more like the Manalangon, whatever. I can't even say it. You say it, wait. Dude, I love the accent.
Mananangal.
Mananangal. When I first did the episode, I was saying it spot on. I think because I was doing research on it.
That's such a hard word. You need to like really read it and practice it.
Dude, because you lived in the Philippines for 7 months or like close to a year, you can pronounce it so well.
There's just some words that I kind of picked up too, but you get used to that.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. But yeah, she can fly, man. Like scary.
How does she fly though? Like a witch gets a broom, or she has wings. Is she just floating in the air? Like
I don't know. Maybe she's floating. I have no idea because it didn't go into detail. I was listening to the audio biography about her, and I'm like, it doesn't like tell me what she flies on. What the hell? And I'm searching. I'm like, it doesn't tell me because I wanted to know. I was like, how does she fly? There's no. That's the one thing.
When you don't have that kind of confirmation, you just like your brain starts to wonder like, how does she have a jetpack in the future? Like, how does she do it?
No, I'm gonna go with that. She has a jetpack, baby.
She's time traveling. She went to the future and grabbed the jetpack.
She has powers, man. She can do whatever she wants, man.
She can look at you and me and be like, yeah, terrible people. I'm just
kidding. She'll probably look at me and be like, I don't like this guy at all, man. He's a bad person.
I'm gonna mislead him in the forest and he's gonna get lost for days.
Damn it, man. I need a bathroom. I'll dig a hole. God. But dude, they should make
that would suck for you.
Oh God. Actually, I'd rather do that than go into a public bathroom.
Yeah.
Just I can't do
that already.
I know I can't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like this is the type of creature I don't want to, cross paths with. I feel like there's only one creature that I liked so far is the Capra. The Capra.
Yeah, makes me think of Sublime.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like that's the only creature that we talked about so far that's like not. because when we first picked that, you picked that creature, and we were not thinking like, oh, this creature's gonna be friendly. I mean,
It's
it's not a
just
friendly
a
creature,
chill
but it's
tree
not.
bro.
Yeah, he's just chilling, eating, drinking, smoking. This creature over here is eating flesh, just killing people. But
7 days to die.
7 days
I'm
to die,
just
man.
kidding.
You can eat flesh in the game, but not you can get sick though. It's only that part. But
Survival of the fittest.
yeah. So what do you think? Out of all the creatures
Uh,
we talked about so far, who do you think is the evilest? Who's on the top? If you got to rank from I'll say the Capra easily because this is our fourth creature we talked about. So I'm gonna say the Capra is number 4 on the list from the least evilest creature, basically.
oh yeah, that's more neutral for
Yeah.
sure.
So with the 3 remaining,
It's gonna be. I can't think of anything more sinister than the Menanangal though,
she's number
just
1 there.
because. Yeah, and then it's a tie between. I think actually, I'm sorry, I learned that the pronunciation it's the Tikbalang, not
Tick belong.
Tikbalang. I don't know if
Tick
I've been
belong.
saying that wrong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tick belong.
So it's a tie between them because they're similar in a way, where then they
They
could
are.
also be guardians of a forest or
Yeah.
somewhat benevolent. However, the Tikbalang is very violent as well.
Yeah.
That's something to consider.
Yeah. I would.
Is this witch like a trickster? Is she deceiving? Will she go aggro on you and destroy you? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
I
would
would
say
say
she's probably ranked for me probably at number 3.
3. Okay. I kind of agree with that. And then the tick belong, whatever. Because I heard 2 different sayings for the creature. It's tick belong and tick belang. I think it depends, who, I don't know. Because when I was doing research on that creature, the one person was saying tick belang. And then
Oh,
the other
really?
one,
Okay.
yeah, but the one that I was listening to, she is actually from the Philippines and she was saying tick belong.
Hmm.
But anyways, those creatures, tick belong and Yama-Uba, are really similar because they both disguise themselves as an old man or a sweet old lady.
Oh,
You
of
know what I mean?
course.
Yeah. And one after that, they come. The Tikbalang comes out to being a evil half man, half horse, and the Yama-Uba is a disgusting, ratchet old lady witch. Okay,
A
I'm just gonna go
traditional
there.
witch, just because
Yeah.
she's a woman witch, not just like a shapeshifter that
No.
does
No.
cult magic.
Of
She's
course. Yeah.
a traditional witch in that sense.
Yeah. But and also the creepy part, she has another mouth on the top of her skull.
I'd
Was it the back
imagine
of the
like
head? Or
yeah, like the top of the head. And you
yeah,
were just, I remember you were joking earlier. You saying like, how are you supposed to go up and like see real quick? I'm like, that's super rude.
yeah, right.
And you're definitely gonna be messed with if you try to
Oh,
do
you're
that to another
done.
woman.
If you're really tall, you can kind of look over,
Pretty
depending on
sure
how
that's
tall she
assault
is.
battery, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. If she's not the witch, you're screwed either way. You're getting arrested because that's assault,
Well,
man.
well, the thing that from all the talking that we've done about this and like whole idea of deceiving people with kindness, it reminds me of highwaymen. Um, the common, I don't know if you know this, but hijack comes from just the common greeting of like, "Hi Jack, how are you?" And
Hmm.
then you're getting robbed. So that's where the word hijack comes from. So it makes you think of like you just have to be careful of kindness. You don't want to run into somebody too kind, but you also don't want to. I don't know. You don't know who's
Yeah,
behind that mask.
you really don't. You really don't.
So you want to be respectful, but you also don't want to be deceived into somebody who's being overly friendly.
Yeah, you just don't want to, have your guard, down. That's the thing. Be respectful and be nice and kind, but at the same time, have your guard up because again, you don't know the person, so you kind of want to like be on guard constantly, especially when you meet somebody new. You know.
Yeah, I'll bring up another video game reference. I play a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2,
Mhm.
and there is you know this, you played that game. There's
Yeah, I
the
think I know what you're
couple
saying.
the couple that lives out in the woods, and it used to be a pig farm, and they're extremely kind to like the player character to the point where it's like kind of like why,
Yeah,
and they end up being cannibals. And so you want to be careful not to like, fall into those traps. And that's exactly what this witch would do. if given the chance, kind of like Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
Especially if you're starving, and you want that pie. You're that poor guy with the bravado and the map.
So bad.
By the way, Alex, have you ever read a map before? I don't think I have.
You have
Have I?
video games. That counts, man.
No,
That
no, that
counts.
doesn't. No,
That
man. I
counts.
mean, like an actual map.
Um,
Like, I mean, you got to drive someplace. You don't have a
oh,
GPS.
if I have read a map, if I'm like, when I went to Jim Thorpe and we were mountain bike riding, I read a map how to get there and back, you know what I mean? But
Oh
not
yeah,
like,
well, that counts.
okay, but not like if I'm driving and I'm going somewhere far. I know I can't. Like, I'll be distracted because I don't have like the greatest memory, so I can't be like, all right, that's the name I'm looking for. What was the name again? I'm looking and I get in a car accident. I
Yeah, you
can't.
remember? Like, could you imagine doing pizza delivery in like the '80s when
God,
GPS hadn't taken off yet?
I remember when we did two deliveries, man, and my phone died, and our boss was like, "Just here, I have a map." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, bro, no, like, no, like, I'm not doing it. But I did. Then my phone came back on. Thank God. I was like, "Thank God." That took forever. Took me
I
like
think
10
one
extra
time when I
minutes.
first started driving, I did, but it was only one time.
Yeah, I think it's good to just know how to read a map, just because, like, I don't know. In my opinion, I feel like when electronics go to crap and we don't have the internet anymore and we don't have Google Maps anymore to rely on. I think it's good to have that kind of skill to read a map. You know.
I remember going to high school. I didn't have like the internet access that kids had in high school when I was in high school.
Yeah, me
I just
neither.
had a regular cell phone. Like I couldn't go on and look on like the internet and stuff. So
Yeah,
I'd like
same
go
here.
out to like dinner with friends, at the time, and they'd be on their phones like with the internet. And this was back when they didn't have like free internet included in a lot of the data plans for phone plans.
Yeah,
So I just kind of sit there bored.
I remember
uh,
those days, man. I had a flip phone, didn't really have so much access to the internet, and I thought this phone was so cool, man. The one phone I had, I don't
is
remember
it
the
the Razor?
name. No, I wish I had that one. No, but I had this phone. It wasn't a flip phone. It was like a square phone,
Uh-huh.
and it would just slide up with a keyboard, and you could
Oh
just.
yeah, yeah, I think you and I had the same phone at one point.
It was
I'm pretty
blue,
sure.
right? Blue,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it was
And
blue.
I thought
And
it
it
was so
stood out
cool,
like that.
man.
I
Yeah,
actually I could not get used to the touchpad for the longest time. I
yeah.
needed a
I couldn't either.
keyboard,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I missed the keyboard, man. I
I knew
missed the
people that would
keyboard.
get so bothered, you need to move on. I'm like, no, I want a keyboard.
Yeah, to this day I still want a keyboard.
Oh really? I've already
Yeah,
gotten used to it, but
but I gotten used to it. But if I can go back, I want the keyboard
of
because
course.
yeah, man. But I actually remember I was in the nurse's office in high school, and every girl that in the nurse's room had that phone. I was like, yeah, I want a different phone. I want a different phone, man. Every girl had this phone. I was the 80 dudes with this phone. But
It's a
yeah,
good phone. Who cares?
it was a good phone. I loved it. Oh my God, I have that phone
Uh,
to this day.
I
Um,
also had a phone that looked like the BlackBerry, but it wasn't a BlackBerry.
I had something
I
like
had the
similar to
same
that.
keyboard too, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
But
I miss those phones.
yeah, man. I was Saw, the movie Saw, the first one. Was that wrote on one of like the iPhones, or no, it wasn't an iPhone. What phone was it? Do you remember?
Is it a Nokia? I don't know. If it's a Nokia, then it's going to be in the final Saw movie that's made
Let me see.
today. This phone's going to last forever.
Yeah, right.
Uh, have you seen those movies?
I saw I only saw a little bit of it. I didn't really what phone was Saw? I didn't really watch those movies. I wasn't really like into them. I don't know why. A lot of my friends were, but I didn't
I
really.
mean, I watched it because I knew somebody that loved the movies and had like all of them, so I watched them because of that reason. But I was never like a diehard fan. Like, yeah, I really want to watch Saw.
Yeah,
Let's
I
watch
didn't want
people
to.
get tortured. It's so fun.
Yeah, I didn't want to watch. I was like, I'm good. I don't know. Um, I didn't really care for it. It was spooky. I saw like maybe half of the movie, and I was like, it's all right. It wasn't scary. It was
Can
just
I
like
spoil it for
gruesome.
you?
Yeah, sure.
One of the final movies. You remember that blonde guy at the very first movie that gets away, like with his leg, I think, missing, and he
Yeah,
crawls away. He ends up being like the final villain who takes over for Jigsaw in the final movie. It's like the plot twist.
Really?
Yeah, they had good plot twists. I'll
That's
give it that.
pretty. That's insane. I,
Yeah, me and my wife just watched a movie called Thanksgiving, and it was good, but I don't recommend it. See, I wanted to watch it because new horror movie,
yeah,
decent reviews, and I was thinking, okay, this is good. And then when I start watching the movie with her, um, I see somewhere that it's like the same director that did Hostel, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a gore fest.
really. Oh,
Yeah, I was like, and I was right. It was really, really traumatizing and messed up. I don't recommend it just for that reason alone.
my brother-in-law watched it, and yeah, he told me some scenes, and I was like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna watch.
I
It was
wish I would
really
have like
insane.
consulted you and you told me that first. I would have been like, yeah, I could probably live without that.
I'm sorry, man. I'm
Don't
sorry.
ever watch the movie Old Boy, by the way.
What is it? Old
That's
Blood?
Old Boy.
Old Boy. Okay, why?
It's a greatly done film, but the twist in the movie is just way too messed up. I don't
Mhm.
recommend it. I told my wife like, why did you make me watch that?
Yeah, oh, God. There's some movies I wish I never watched just because how gruesome it was. Or just, I think the one movie I watched. This is what I don't get, and we have to kind of end it a little soon because my phone is like on 18%, unfortunately. But
Well, we're nearing the end, anyways. We're
yeah.
past an hour now.
But the one movie, oh my God, it was I can't think of it. My gosh, it was on the tip of my tongue. It was a movie that takes place in India. It was this hold on, Indian.
It's not Slumdog Millionaire, is it?
No, no. It's like a movie about like a gang. Hold on.
I'm really into foreign films now.
I am too, but like some of them, man, are like
I
really.
like reading subtitles. I'm watching movies that don't have subtitles now, and like I want subtitles, even though it's spoken in English.
Let me see. There's some movies like that for me and my wife. We have to watch it in subtitles just because. Um, I don't know, man. It's like a
Yeah,
gang
so
movie.
you
It's
you gotta watch Train to Busan if you haven't seen it.
Train. Oh God, I have seen that. Oh, that
Yeah,
movie's so good.
fantastic movie.
You told me they made a second one, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I don't recommend it.
Yeah, I would. I'm not gonna watch it. Don't worry. Well, I can't. I don't know the name
Well,
of the
can you at
movie.
least tell us the premise then? Or
So it's just about these young guys. These three friends that grew up with each other. It was a girl and two boys. They grew up. One took a life of basically like education and trying to kind of have a better life, and the other one chose the life of being a gang member and violence and everything. And the girl kind of went to the a little bit to that side and started dating him, and she always had feelings for the other guy. But it was just like a depressing movie, and it's like I don't understand why people watch
I'm
those
sorry, but
movies.
that sounds similar to Slumdog Millionaire, except
Slumdog Millionaire.
yeah, was he on a game show having to answer like all the questions correctly, and he has to use like pieces of his memory to get the answers correct?
You're right. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah,
I haven't watched the full movie. I've seen scenes from
yeah.
it. It
So
was a decent movie from the
it
sound
was.
of it.
I was like, why are we watching? Because to be honest with you, I didn't want to watch it. I didn't even know I was going to watch a movie when I went to this guy's house. So this is when I was training.
Okay.
This is when I was training, and he was. I was like, oh man, I really need like to go. I was going to go to GNC or a vitamin shop to buy stuff, and the guy's like, oh dude, I have stuff in my house that I just bought. I'm not going to use it. Do you want it? I was like, yeah, sure. I'll come over. He was like, oh, do you want to hit the pads, whatever? And I was like, yeah, sure. Let's do that. We go there. He gives me all the protein stuff and protein shakes and vitamins and all that. And I was like, oh, thanks, man. I really need this. Thank you. And then what happened? He was like, hey, dude, besides hitting pads, you want to watch a movie? I was like, yeah, I guess. Like, I didn't want to be mean. And I was like, yeah, sure, man, whatever. So we ended up watching the movie, and I was like, this was a waste of time. Like, why do I want to watch a movie that makes me so depressed? Like, I like drama, movies.
I love drama too. I watch a lot of dramas.
Yeah, but not like that, man. Like, that's like, why? Like, why do I want
I
to?
thought it had a good ending though.
It
I
did, but
remember.
I just
I
felt
know
like,
there's some bad scenes in it, but yeah.
yeah, it was just like not the type of movie I would want to watch, you know?
Oh, I don't know. I disagree. I love movies like that. I love the idea that he's able to answer every question with
You
like
you
all
always
of these
gotta go.
past memories.
You gotta go against me every freaking time we're on the show. I'm just kidding. How
Yeah,
dare
just like in real life.
every time. I'm just kidding.
Just like in real life outside of the show. Yeah, I agree.
Even in 7 Days to Die, man, you always try to leave me stranded. I'm just kidding now. But
I only had 2 health, Alex. I'm sorry.
you did help me
What do
out
you
a
want
lot.
me to say?
But listen, guys. All right. So one thing about this creature, what do you all right. Do you have
Yeah,
anything to
let's
add?
get in on our last questions.
Yes.
Uh,
So is there any questions you have for me about this creature?
what'd you do if you encountered it?
Run away. Run away. I don't know.
Well, no. Okay, I'll give you another question. You're deep in the woods, and there looks to be a sick old woman who's sitting on the ground kneeling, and you can't really see her features, but you hear her wheezing and coughing. How do you approach that situation? She's on the direct path that you're walking.
If I was in Japan, probably not a. I don't know how to say. All right. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't speak Japanese. I'm probably not going to approach it because I don't know the
That's true.
dialect. It's like I can't really help you. Like, like I'm gonna. I'm kidding. I'm
Let's
kidding.
assume that you knew like some basic
I.
Japanese words to be
The
like,
thing
"Are you
is,
okay?"
this, are you okay?
Not like that. You know what I
Do you need a doctor? I'm just kidding.
mean.
That,
Assault
honestly,
battery. That's great. Good job, Alex.
it's scary because this thing does that to trick you to get you in.
I
So it's like,
know, but what if it's like, oh wow, this kind
also,
traveler, let me imbue him with like strength.
I'll say this.
She's done in past stories.
I like to think I'm a good human being where if she does read anything off of me, it's not like, wow, this guy's an a-hole. I'm going to trick him or kill him and eat him. So I would like to think I'm a good, decent human being. So I will approach her and try to help her. If I have water on me that's not already open, I'll offer it to her and be like, here, do you need water?
Yeah, that you don't even need to know the language to like be able to, give them a bottle of water. So I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
that's like
So
universal.
I would approach her just hopefully I would have the confidence of knowing like, hey, I'm not a bad person. So hopefully she doesn't kill me or read some kind of negative thing, you
It's
know.
like, can I see your second mouth? No, Alex, don't ask that.
Can I see? Can you open your second mouth, please? And she does. I'm like, I knew it.
Don't eat me.
Don't eat me. But
I don't
what
know.
would you do if you
I
approached
would
her?
fall for it. If it was a trick, I would fall for it because I don't know. You know me,
No, dude, we're
former
the
EMS, working
yeah,
with old people,
mm,
working at a job that had a lot of like older elderly people
yeah,
that were
dude,
kind and sweet. And if
yeah,
something's wrong with them, I'm like, what's wrong? I'm bothered by that. I would want to
yeah.
know. Yeah,
Yes,
I don't know. An act of kindness would go a long way.
it does. And I've done. Listen, I did
I guess
security.
I'm gonna get eaten, guys. I'm gonna die. I
I'll
get
probably
eaten.
get eaten too, man. I did security, and I remember helping a lot of older people out, and even I worked in nursing homes, and I got in trouble, almost got fired for it was a fire alarm. So it was a just there was no fire, it was just train whatever, and um so the fire alarm went off, and then I saw this old lady in a wheelchair, and I pushed her out, and I got in trouble for it because I wasn't licensed to handle any patients, which is so stupid. It
Oh,
was
oh,
actually
oh
like,
well.
yeah. So they were like, hey, next time don't do that. You leave them there and get help. I'm like, what the? Why? Yeah.
You,
God forbid
there's
there's a
smoke
fire.
everywhere, a fire, leave them
Yeah.
there. It's fine. No worries.
Just leave them there. It's so stupid. I was like, yeah, this
It's
job
like
is
that
done.
meme with the dog who's happy. He's like, "Yep, this is fine." It's just fire
Yeah.
surrounding him.
It's like, so I was like, this is so stupid. But yeah, I think I would probably get eaten. I don't know. But I think,
Oh well, it was a nice life, I guess.
yeah,
I still want to stick by my principles and things I would do. So, oh well.
I would
I
hope
guess
she
that's
doesn't
it for
kill
me.
us. I would hope she wouldn't kill us because we are kind human beings. We're not really bad people. I would like to think, but yeah,
I'm gonna be humble and say, I mean, as good as I can be.
yeah. I'm an evil person now. I'm kidding. I'm
No, you're
okay.
not.
I, I hope that if I ever like, I would like to go to Japan one day. That's one thing. I don't think I'll go in the mountains or the woods. I would stay away from that. But definitely, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll stick to my question. I'll definitely try to help the old woman, but yeah,
Do you have a question for me before we wrap up?
Yes.
We're getting down to our 2 minutes.
All right. Who? No, I can't answer that question. Never mind.
Okay.
Oh, man, who would you rather be eaten by? The Tikbalang? No, not the Tikbalang. The Aswang or Yama-Uba?
I don't know. That's a weird question, Alex. I don't want
It's
to be
not.
eaten at all. You
I don't
know,
want to be eaten at all. I don't want to be eaten at
I
all.
don't
But
want
I'm
to
just saying.
imagine somebody eating me, so I'm
No, man,
gonna
this is a
decline that
serious question.
question.
What would be painless? That's my question. Like, all right, would you rather be?
Painless? I don't know. I've heard stories of like people being eaten, like uh, probably not real, but
Yeah,
like I'd imagine if she has a second mouth and expands, it's gonna be like a snake eating something. So if you're gonna be eaten whole, you're probably gonna be alive, like you know, going in to this creature monster's mouth,
yeah,
like a snake. Um, I, I don't know. I maybe I'd prefer that to like being violently attacked, eaten
yeah.
that way.
True.
Like
Yeah,
I don't know. Would you rather be swallowed by a snake or eaten by like a zombie who's just like tearing you apart? Really it comes down to that. I would say the snake.
yeah, but you would suffocate.
I mean, I don't know. That seems like less gruesome than like being ripped apart. So thanks. Yeah, I'll take that.
I'd rather be ripped apart.
Okay, well, good
Suffocating.
for
I
you
don't want to be
then.
suffocated. I don't want to be suffocating. That sucks. It's like this is really painful. Like I can't breathe.
Well, to each their own. I'm sorry. That's how I
Yeah,
feel.
I'm sorry. I'm going with ripped apart. I don't know. I think I would die faster because of
Okay.
lack of blood.
It's okay to be wrong. It's okay. I'm
I think I would. I think I would pass out. It's not that I'm wrong. I just think if I
I'm
see
just
my body's,
speculating.
my limbs getting ripped apart, I'm gonna pass out from the shock, and then I'm just gonna be getting eaten. That's it.
Oh, that's a good point. I'm all right with that. I'm okay with the snake. It's fine.
You're gonna get suffocated. Oh, you're gonna be suffocating, bro. I'm sorry.
Yep, it's fine. Whatever.
You're gonna be suffocating.
That was the question you asked. That's the answer I gave you. So it is what it is.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say another question. I was like, who would you rather marry? Yeah, that's wrong.
No,
Neither.
no. We can just
Neither.
wrap up the show then.
I'm gonna say neither. I'm gonna answer that question. No.
No.
No. What about? I'm gonna go with no. Anyways,
How
yeah.
about no?
How about no?
Austin Powers. Yeah.
Smoking a pancake? Smoking a pancake?
You
Oh
want to
yeah.
close this
Well,
out, Alex?
yes. All right. Well, that was it, guys, for this episode. This was episode 4, man. Can you believe it? Episode 4.
Yeah, well, someday it's gonna be 40.
I hope
And then
so.
we'll have mics and a studio and
That'd be nice.
cool stuff.
Cool.
We'll just
Yeah.
talk to you guys like, for all day. I mean, we'll have
Yeah.
enough episodes you can just binge watch and just listen to our ASMR. If you're having a bad day, you can tune in, hang out with us.
Watch the Dark Begonia podcast. Yeah. Do you like the voice? Oh my gosh, this is so great. There's people eating each other. I'm just kidding. There's creatures eating people. So Yama-Uba is an old witch that eats men.
You have a nice whisper.
What the? I'm just kidding.
I was giving you a compliment, all right?
Thank you.
Okay, there you go. Thanks, Alex. Great job.
I'm just kidding. Oh my
You can
god.
email us at darkbeconiapodcast@gmail.com. You can email us your scary story submissions. You can email us to say hi. We'll respond back on there as well as comments. So yeah.
Yeah, and you can also go on our Instagram, Dark Begonia Podcast, or on Facebook. And yeah, just join us on YouTube once a week, and you can even binge watch our videos. We already have 4 episodes, and yeah, so please join us again back in the garden. We always love having you guys, and thank you for watching Dark Begonia Podcast. Thank you guys.
Don't be a stranger.
Don't be a stranger. You guys have a great night. Let's do. Oh wait, Troy. Before we go,
I'm not gonna say. Go ahead.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. You guys ready for this? Here we go. Oh my gosh. The nice little music in the background. All right. Sorry, guys. I had the music.
I didn't ruin it this time. It's cool.
No, you didn't. You didn't. All right, guys. Thank you for watching.
Bye, guys. Bye, guys. We'll see you next time.